Hey, brand builder, Rory Vaden here. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out this interview. As always, it's our honor to provide it to you for free. And wanted to let you know there's no big sales pitch or anything coming at the end. However, if you are someone who is looking to build and monetize your personal brand, we would love to talk to you and get to know you a little bit and hear about some of your dreams and visions and share with you a little bit about what we're up to see if we might be a fit. So if you're interested in a free strategy call with someone from our team, we would love to hear from you. You can do that at brandbuildersgroup.com/podcall, brandbuildersgroup.com/podcall. We hope to talk to you soon.
How in the heck did she grow 400,000 followers in 40 days? That was the topic of the interview that we just finished with Hilary Billings and her boyfriend Marshall, talking about how they do, their TikTok strategy. And oh my gosh, what an amazing interview. These two are freaking brilliant. Like, they are so creative and intelligent and systematic, but artistic and just like insightful, but also intuitive. I mean, it is amazing. And that is 100% true story. She grew 400,000 followers in 40 days on TikTok. That is gnarly. So if you didn't listen to that, go back and listen to the interview. Of course, this is the recap edition here. I'm going to be breaking down this interview with Hilary and Marshall. And I learned a ton. I'm going to boil it down to my top 3 takeaways here for you. But oh, so powerful and really cool. So first of all, one of my biggest takeaways is, at a macro level, there is a major shift that is taking place that you at least need to be aware of and mindful of. And that is that entertainment, like the entertainment, like actors, entertainers in Hollywood, like, it used to be who can bring the talent, right? It was like, okay, if you're going to, even I think this is going to apply to sports. It's like, okay, if you're going to get a scholarship, to come play at some college, who can throw a football or who can shoot a basketball or whatever. And it was like, if you're going to get on Broadway in New York, it's like, who can sing, who can dance, who can act. It's all of these different things, right? It used to be who can bring the talent. But the major macro shift that's happening right now is it's not just who can bring the talent. It's who can bring the audience. Who can bring the audience, right? The Logan Pauls of the world are getting these huge acting deals. This is what Hilary was talking about. And that it's because they bring their audience with them. They have this built-in audience. And in a way, this is how endorsement deals have always worked. Like, whoever the famous actor is gets the big, or actress gets the big endorsement deal because they know that so many millions of people know who that person is. And if that person says it's good, then they'll buy the thing or sign up for the thing or whatever. But it's still that they had to become famous initially by getting some role doing something, usually based on their talent. Now it is based on their audience. Who has a huge audience? And it's almost like, I mean, in a weird way, I think just the value of talent is changing, because it's almost like, well, what is your talent worth? It's going, well, one of the measures of what that talent is worth in the marketplace is how many people pay attention to it. And because there's sort of this equal playing field of us all building our own audiences, you go, well, how many people are paying attention to it? How many people are following it and liking it and subscribe to it and engaging with it? That is an indicator. It's a market indicator of not just how talented someone is, but what is the appetite of the market for that talent right now in real time, in compared to everything else that's happening in the world. And you go, man, so that is why the number of followers you have, it does matter. Like people say it doesn't matter. It does matter. We're just, we often talk about, hey, don't put your self-esteem in that. Like you create what you create, and you should be focused on, but you should be focused on growing your reach, because it matters, right? Like your ability to monetize is going to be directly related to your reach. That's why we talk about the reputation formula. Don't forget what the Brand Builders Group reputation formula: results times reach equals reputation. Results times reach. So results is like the talent, right? How good are you? But reach is a huge part of it. And that's just a monster shift that's happening in the market. This, by the way, is something I realized early on as a speaker. If you know anything about my story, right? Originally, my dream was I want to be a speaker. That was like the path that I was on. I never thought I would end up doing what we're doing now, but it was kind of like I realized early on that the best speakers in the world were the people who won the World Championship of Public Speaking for Toastmasters and the Hall of Fame speakers for the National Speakers Association. They were the best speakers in the world when it came to mechanics, delivery, the art form, the craft, the using the stage, the stories, the structure, the jokes. But they were not the highest paid speakers. Why? Because they didn't bring an audience with them. The highest paid speakers are former presidents, right? And they're celebrities, and they're, a lot of times they're whatever, they're icons of industry because they're more well known. Well, why is a meeting planner willing to pay more for that person? Because the reputation of that person being associated with the event increases the value of the event, the perceived value of the event. It increases the credibility of the event. And because that person is a draw. If it is a public event or any type of event where people aren't, forced to be there like employees, but any type of event where you're trying to get people to opt into coming or paying all or some of their way to come, people will pay to come see someone they've heard of. They will not pay as much to come see someone they've never heard of. They don't, they don't know why, because they don't know who the person is yet. So it used to be about talent, who can bring the talent. Now it's about who can bring the audience. I mean, it's still about talent, but it's about both. And so this is a big deal. And I'm not saying I like this. In fact, I'm not sure that I prefer this. But on the one hand, there is kind of a beautiful part of this, which is the equal playing field of social media, to go, we're all playing with the same algorithm. We all have the same opportunity. Like we can all build our own audience today. We all, for the most part, have an equal opportunity there to do that. And it allows people with great talent to get discovered, or not even to get discovered. It's like they discover themselves because their audience lifts them up, versus having some, executive have to choose them out of a hat, so to speak. So you got to realize this is what's happening. And there is a lot of economic value in the fact that you have your own audience, not just because you can monetize that audience, but it makes you more valuable to everybody else, because everywhere you go, some portion of your audience goes with you. That's a really, really big deal. You got to really understand it. And anyways, I think in some ways I'm a little bit late to the game, ironically, have been late to that game over the years. So that was huge. The second takeaway I had was such a simple technical tip, which, and this is just because I don't use TikTok really a ton. I am on TikTok, and we've been focused on growing Instagram and growing my Instagram reels. And so we will at some point start moving that over to TikTok once we can do it consistently. But we're not really on TikTok because we don't have the bandwidth to keep up with it yet, but we'll be there. But anyways, the Discover tab in TikTok will tell you the tags that the platform wants you to use right now. Right. So here's another switch you got to flip. And what Hilary and Marshall were saying, which was so smart, was they were talking about how Twitter will tell you the trending hashtags, and the paradigm shift, or the mindset shift that needs to happen here, is you have to shift from being a consumer to being a creator. You have to shift from thinking like a consumer to thinking like a creator, right? I assume let me just speak for myself. When I am thinking as a consumer and I look at the trending hashtags on Twitter, I almost always go, those are so weird. Like, why are people paying attention to these stupid hashtags? Right? That's me approaching it as a consumer. Or maybe I go, oh, that's really cool. I want to see what that's about. But if I flip the switch and approach this as a creator, I go, this is a roadmap. This is an instruction manual. Like, these are the keys to the kingdom right here. The platform is saying, this is what's hot right now. This is what everyone's paying attention to. Give me fuel for this thing that has already taken off. Basically, it's like, this train has already left the station. Jump on while you can. And it's the most clear, direct roadmap. I mean, it's just so simple, but so massive to just go, okay, if I'm on Twitter, let me look at the top trending hashtags. I'm sure there's a way to do this on Facebook. I don't know. We didn't really talk about that, but on TikTok specifically was what we were talking about. It's the Discover tab. You can also do this in Instagram on the Explore page, right? And you can run searches with like, what are these top performing hashtags? And then you go, this is approaching it as a creator rather than a consumer. As you say, what piece of content could I create that would be on brand for me, but that would speak or plug in or tie in or draft off of this hashtag? That's such a simple shift, but it's massive, right? Everyone, we all go, man, I wish the algorithm would help me more. I wish I could go viral. And yet every single time, every single one of us logs into one of these platforms, it tells you what's going viral. If you want to go viral right now, create content on these topics. And yet, as a consumer, when I have my consumer hat on, I basically, like, it flies right past me. But, these professional creators like Hilary and Marshall, I mean, these people are genius. At the same time, it's also kind of simple, right? And going, duh, like, open your eyes, pay attention. It's right there. Like, they're serving it up to you right on the silver platter. Like, this is the content that's hot right now. Create content for me on this. Oh, it's so simple. It's so simple. And it's also helpful to go, instead of having to create 1,000 content ideas yourself, what if you just logged in and said, what's trending right now? What piece of content could I create that would align with what is trending right now, and then ride that wave? And I'm just going, man, I am an idiot. Honestly, I'm going like, how have I missed this? I don't know, but somehow I have. All right. The third takeaway from this interview, again, like, go listen to it, man. Y'all, these interviews are killer, man. Every single one of these interviews that we have, like, is so good. And I love, if you haven't left us a review on iTunes, please go leave us a review. Like, if you've been listening, to at least a few episodes, reviews help us so much. It's like the number one thing that you can do as a listener. I mean, short of requesting a call from our team, and maybe we can become part of your team. But like, outside of that, leaving us a review is one of the most helpful things that you can do. And, if you're listening to these episodes, they're just powerful, right? Like, I can't believe the amount of free advice that all these guests are giving away and stuff. And hopefully you get value out of these recaps. So anyways, the third thing was just the mindset and how Hilary and Marshall approach this, right? Like, and I would put them in this kind of professional creator category, right? They're true creators. I wouldn't even call them influencers. It's not that they've got like millions and millions of followers and people buy whatever they say. I would put them in the creator category. They are specifically and explicitly understanding how to manufacture virality and views. And so how they think is really important to go, how could I adopt more of this? And this was one of the biggest takeaways, is they simply said, if you want to be a great content creator, you have to approach it with an experimental mindset. And this was one of the lines. I can't remember if Hilary said this or Marshall, but they create a lot of this stuff together, and they're definitely a team. And they said, don't base the success off of the videos. Base your success off of the systems. Don't base your success off of the videos. Base your success off of the systems. And going, you're putting your self-esteem and your pride and your focus into like, okay, I'm creating this production company, and there's this set of processes that we run, and there's these certain things that we monitor and we measure and we account for and we tweak and we test, and that is what sort of like the value is. It's not, oh, we got lucky or we feel really good because this one video went viral. And did you hear what she said, like about the video that she made about the parallel parking? She said the video didn't perform on Facebook. So she had this video about parallel parking that she posted on Facebook that didn't perform, and then it got 40 million views on TikTok. That's insane. Like it blew up on TikTok. How did it get 40 million views? Well, there's a couple lessons there. One is it shows the lesson of posting content on multiple platforms, right? Like the audience on each platform is a little bit different. And, so the content that you think tanked over here might be useful over here if you have the team who can help you do it. So be experimental in your mindset and your approach, and just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep going. Keep coming back here every single week on the Influential Personal Brand Podcast. We love having you. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.